Hello, everybody, and welcome to West Alexandria, Ohio. Kind of a little bit of a change from last week, the Midwest Athletic Conference. This week, the Cross County Conference, Anna and Twin Valley South. Just to let you know, last week, right before halftime, Todd Beckman went down with what we thought was an ankle injury. Turns out it was a sprained MCL, and got an email from Tim Beckman, the head coach, this morning saying he's probably going to be out for a few weeks, but certainly that's good news that nothing was tore.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could see the turn in the game as he went out 14-14 at halftime, and then Marion Local coming out and really controlling that game, ending up 40-14.
Tonight, a little bit of a different story. The Cross County Conference, a strong conference, although not nearly as strong as the Midwest Athletic Conference, but the Anna Rockets, boy, what an up-and-coming team.
Well, you have to be very impressed with their program, the number of kids they have out, the success that they've had, getting to the playoffs in just a short amount of time, a community that's really supporting their kids, and I think tonight we're going to see just how good Anna is.
Anna, in their opening game of the year, they played against the New Bremen Cardinals, fell 14-7 at New Bremen. Twin Valley South, on the other hand, started the year 0-3, but we learned tonight that they do get a forfeit win from Dixie, who played a player on just 3 plays, but rules are rules, and they get a win.
And everything I heard about the Dixie game, you know, you had the rain postponement for 3 hours. It was a tie game up to that point in time, and 3 hours later they came back, and it was a totally different game.
Stay tuned. Duane and I are going press side in just a moment. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville, Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta, and by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to West Alexandria, Twin Valley South High School. The Anna Rockets taking on the Panthers, and Duane looking out at midfield. I feel like I'm at Penn State in Happy Valley.
Well, I made the comment the field looks awful nice for as dry as the conditions have been. Either they've gotten a little more rain than we have up north, or they've done a nice job with watering and taking care of the field.
Well, my name is Mark Bixler. Joining me tonight, once again, Duane Warvel, and you are listening to the M. Bixler Video Productions Game of the Week on Greenville Public Access Television, as well as the Adelphia Cable Entertainment System in Celina, Versailles, and Minster. The Anna Rockets will be receiving. Twin Valley South will be kicking and doing the kicking honors. If I can catch the number for Twin Valley South, looks like number 34. That is Steve Bird. Lets it fly. It's taken at about the 14-yard line, and that is taken by number 29 around the right side. He's at the 40. One man to beat, and guess who gets him? It's the kicker. He is in Twin Valley South territory at about the 45-yard line. Returning that was DJ Marks.
You know, Mark, we talked earlier about Anna, and their schedule. I think early we really didn't get a good feel for how good Anna was going to be playing New Bremen, and since then we've seen what New Bremen has done playing Coldwater. It's really a 7-7 game at halftime, and then end up losing 7-14 against a very, very good Coldwater team.
And beat a very sound Lehman Catholic team the week before, 28-13. So losing at New Bremen ends up not being such a bad thing.
No, not at all. And I think tonight we're going to just really take a look here at 2 conference teams and just see where each team is at this point in time in the season.
You know, and chatting a little bit with some people in the press box here below us. We're in the upper deck of the press box, and you have to wonder how long Anna's going to stay in the Cross County Conference, especially with the possibility of Fort Laramie, as that has taken up the middle to about the pickup after the penalty back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, and we discussed, Mark, the drive that they have, whether it's here or to North or to Trail or to Bethel. At least 2 times during the season, they've got to make some good hauls.
Absolutely. And I'll mention something that I kind of discussed with a gentleman downstairs as Brandon Renner hands the ball off, and nice swarming defense by the Panthers of Twin Valley South. No gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
South did a really nice job on the pursuit there.
That no gain on the play is Esser carrying that. So 3rd down and 10, 10:55 remaining here in this opening quarter of play, just underway. Little misdirection is taking that as TJ Schemmel. Schemmel is tripped up back at the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, that was a really nice open field tackle because, if he doesn't make that tackle, that goes for a big gain.
Actually, they call it, we're going to say no gain on the play, and
4th and 11.
Down and short 11 or a long 10, whatever you want to call it. And that
is not a very good punt.
A punt that lands at about the 27-yard line, does take a little bit of an Anna roll down to the 25, and that's where Twin Valley South will take over 1st and 10. So 3 and out for Anna to start things off. Not a bad start for the Panthers of Twin Valley South.
Not at all. They've got to be pleased with that possession defensively.
10-10 remaining, and Duane, mentioning how long will Anna remain in the cross-county conference. Something that was brought up in the press box down below us is the possibility with Fort Laramie the possibility of their adding football, and I haven't talked to the athletic director there since late July, but South loses about 4 on that play. Pick up back to about the 21-yard line. Actually, about 3. They mark it at the 23. So it'll be 2nd down and 12. But the possibility of seeing a merger between the Midwest Athletic Conference and the Shelby County Athletic League.
And the way Anna has played the last few years,
they could compete
very well.
9.5 minutes remaining. First quarter of play, a scoreless ball game. A little bit of an option as Kyle Raymer takes that and on the keeper, gets it up to about the 34-yard line. So a pickup of about 11 on that play. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Panthers. Mark Bixler with you, joined by Duane Warvel. We're in West Alexandria.
And Anna at this point in time has to be very pleased with their progress in the CCC and the short time they've had varsity football program.
No question, 2 years at the varsity level, and they've made the playoffs both years. That looked like a keeper. Actually, no, it was a handoff. Number 20 carrying that, Nate Armstrong, and he does get the 1st down. So South will maintain possession. The ball resting at about the 41-yard line. Looks like the Anna side of the South 41. Might add the facilities here, great facilities here at Twin Valley South. They've redone the press box, and since I was here last, as that a keeper are actually taken by number 34, Steve Bird, in a sudden burst. He is out close to a 1st down.
Had a fumble on the play. Bird fumbled on the play, but he fumbled it forward and helped him out, gaining a 1st down.
Saw that last week in the Marion St. Henry game. Marion local getting that. Looked like an individual was being tackled. And suddenly an additional pickup of about 5 or 6 yards, giving him the 1st down. 1st and 10, the ball at the South 47 yard line. And we're going to see a penalty as looked like Anna maybe anticipated that a little too much. But the question is, was there movement on the south side? Encroachment against Anna. So it'll be a free 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10. And Duane, this is my first opportunity to see Anna since their inception of football.
I've had the opportunity the last few years to see Anna, and I just can't tell you how much I'm impressed with their coaching staff and their program and their support they've gotten to their community.
8 minutes remaining as the first pass. It is caught. Enough for the first down into Anna territory at about the 37-yard line, so 7:58 remaining. And South finding ways to continue this drive.
You know, South has to be pleased with the defensive possession that took place, and now their offensive possession, the way they're moving the ball.
7:58 as the clock stopped as the reception was out of bounds, or he got out of bounds after the reception. He's carrying that is Steve Bird, and he picks up across the 30 down to about the 28-yard line of Anna. And right now, Duane, it looks like South, the offensive line is controlling the trenches.
They're doing a nice job blowing out the defensive line of Anna. You know, Mark, you know, we talked about Anna's growth. You know, I'm not sure they want to move to the MAC or do anything like that. Moving too fast could really, you know, set them back a few years.
And I'm not saying that a merger between the MAC and the Shelby County Athletic League is anywhere near happening. As far as I know, no talks are in the works, but that is a possibility if Fort Laramie does bring on football within a few years. Third down and about a yard for Twin Valley South as we are approaching the 7-minute mark. And if MAC officials hadn't thought about it, that maybe hearing me might have planted the seed.
Of course, if you added 2 more teams, you could probably almost go in East and West or South Division.
I would foresee a merger between the Shelby County Athletic League and the MAC. That a keeper, and it is, well, he has the first down. Where they mark it at about the 26-yard line, which would take the MAC to about 18 schools, which you would see you would see an East or a West and a North or a South. Even possibly 3 divisions.
And having seen quite a few MAC games and programs, it's got to be one of the best leagues in the state of Ohio for small schools.
Absolutely. Shelby County not too far behind. Penalty flags are thrown as that reception, Brad Unger with that, and he is down close to the 10 at about the 12-yard line. And right now, Kyle Ramert, the Panthers doing a nice job being directed by Kyle Ramert at quarterback of just mixing up off the run and pass right now.
Well, 4 different ball players have touched the ball offensively, rushing, and 2 different receivers. This penalty is going to be against South.
Well, bring it back. And it looks like they're going to put it at about the mark it off. Well, it looks like about a 5-yard penalty, actually. Illegal procedure against South. 6:13 remains. We're in the opening quarter of play. Mark Bixler, Duane Warvel, and Bixler Video Productions. We're certainly glad to be with you here on Greenville Public Access Television, as well as Adelphia Cable Entertainment in Minster, Versailles, and Celina. A scoreless ball game. Pitches back to number 14, Travis Angel, takes it around the right side, and nice.
Didn't get a lot there.
Nice tackle. Was that 52 making that stop? Andrew Birch with that tackle. A loss on the play, back to about the 31-yard line is where they're going to mark it. So 2nd down and 16 for South. And what do we have? A whistle stopping play and an official's timeout. It looks like maybe equipment problem with others. Just a reminder, next week we'll return to Midwest Athletic Conference action when the Marion local Flyers will play their backyard rival, the Minster Wildcats.
You know, Mark, we talked last weekend as we left that St. Henry facility. I'm just not sure how good Marion local is. I mean, they're a very nice ball club.
You know, I'm not sure if Tim Goodwin knows how good they are.
And they potentially have the opportunity to be a very, very good ball club.
Absolutely. And that's not taking anything away from Minster, as that is caught. Number 12 with that reception.
Got a fumble.
Joby Hickey, and as
Anna
Dwayne said, a fumble, and it looks like Anna has it.
Again.
Well, the Panthers, a nice job, but in the end, turn it over. 5:45 remains here in this first quarter of play, a scoreless ball game.
And Mark, I want to make sure people understand what I mean by that statement. I think Marion local has a very nice ball club and a very classy program.
Well, they came out in the second half, and you have to understand that Marion local's defense, or St. Henry's defense, held them to 14 points in the first half. We have a late penalty flag coming in, and that was a pickup by number 25, TJ Schimmel. And we'll wait and see what the penalty flag is. But they scored the 26 points against that same defense that held them to 14 in the first half, and that take nothing away from Beckman going down. But having said that, ball control was the issue in the second half.
And his injury defensively has nothing to do with the outcome of the game.
Absolutely. However, it did result in the fact that St. Henry was a little more uncomfortable offensively, and it meant a few more 3 and out where they wouldn't have had that.
And definitely
with
a lot
Beckman
more
in the game. Right. That was against the Rockets, and not a pass
picked off.
Intended.
We had a tip on the play.
Ben Elsass, and then the interception.
South in very good field position here on their second possession.
Well, you have to wonder, Dwayne. We mentioned the distance that Anna has to travel, and it's a good hour and a half, probably hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours by bus. What kind of an effect that has on a team on a Friday night? Bird, reception. It is a complete pass. Or check that. Kyle Ramert with the completion. Is catching that. Was, I believe, Joby Hickey. So a pickup of about 4. We'll call it second down and 6 for the Panthers. So the first big break.
Oh, we've had several penalties and several turnovers already early in the ball game.
First big break, though. The Panthers, we'll see if they can take advantage of it. Ramert, the
open
pass.
in the corner.
And it is going to be batted down. Nice coverage by the Rockets. That pass intended for number 12, Joby Hickey, and it was batted down by number 22. That is Kurt Hoying.
22 did a nice job closing down on the ball because early in the play, as it was a bootleg, there was quite a bit of distance between him and the receiver.
4:39 remains here in this first quarter of play. A scoreless ball game thus far. Mark Bixler, Duane Warvel, also being joined by Mike Sees. And carrying that ball up the middle down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. Let's check the number. Number 19 with that. Kyle Ramert. I'll be honest, he did a nice job. He faked me out. I couldn't find the ball.
One thing Anna does well, and if you watch them and watch the way they play, a lot of times they miss some tackles because they're always so busy trying to strip the ball.
4:20 remains here in the first quarter of play, a scoreless ball game, but the Panthers threatening here, taking up the middle and in for the touchdown. Number 34 with that. Steve Bird with the touchdown with 4:12 remaining. A 2-yard run, making it a 6-0 ball game. Now, seeing the play that Twin Valley South just set up takes me back to the late 1970s. That was something that Walt Schreffler, when he was coaching at Ansonia, used to always set up, and that is, the kick is good.
So far, a very impressive showing by Twin Valley South.
4:12 remains here in this first quarter of play. It is Twin Valley South 7, the Anna Rockets nothing. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By MONTAGE Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us. Back here at West Alexandria, Twin Valley South High School, the Panthers of South leading at 7-0 over the Anna Rockets. And that coming on a 2-yard run by Steve Bird at the 4:12 mark. Well, a week ago, South falling to Tri-County North. A couple weeks ago, Anna took it to the Panthers. That is taken at about the 14-yard line. And coming around the corner and slipping and falling, I believe that was number 18, Brian Egbert.
Yeah, that's a play that I haven't seen for a long time. Almost like a fumble Ruski. Meet in the middle and hand it off.
4:07 remains here in this opening quarter of play. A 7-0 lead, as we said. Twin Valley South over the Rockets. Up the middle, that is number 32 with the carry, Kurt Esser.
You know, Mark, being in 3 weeks in the football season, 4 weeks actually, we've had great weather.
We actually have. Currently, it's just about 77 degrees here. A little warmer here in the press box, but makes me, Greenville's one of the few press boxes that we go to that actually has air conditioning. And wouldn't you know, Alex Warner and Ty House get to do those games.
Somehow, those two fellas probably have a way of getting pizza delivered to them as well. That or some Maid-Rites.
Maid-Rites, probably. And that, speaking of the Maid-Rite, one of our sponsors on all of the systems, and Steve Canner at the Maid-Rite.
That's one way of getting them in there.
That pass is complete. It is a first down, and the reception, it's caught by Josh Carter.
You know, all if you do is say the word Maid-Rite, and it makes you hungry.
Oh, I know. My stomach was growling even before that, but now it's really growling. Of course, a lot of people stop in when they're in Greenville just to get the Maid-Rite. Another place, Will's Family Dining as well. Little misdirection is taking that. Number 32, Kurt Esser, takes it around the left side and pick up out to about the 40-yard line. So about a 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5 for the Rockets. And looks like Anna trying to put something together here late in this first quarter of play. 7-0 South. They lead the Rockets. A little misdirection, and did he hang on to it? No. I tell you what, he had to reach behind, and just as he did that, he was clobbered by a couple of Panthers. And it falls incomplete. Third down and 5 for the Rockets. And I tell you what, Twin Valley South has come in here ready to play tonight. Well, it'll bring up a fourth down. No gain on the play. So the Rockets will be forced to punt, and it looks like doing so will be number 32, Kurt Esser. 1:50 and counting down here in this first quarter of play. Bird is one of the players back, and he's going to call a fair catch. Takes it at the 30-yard line, and that's where South will set up 1st and 10 with 1:42 remaining.
So far, South has got to be very pleased where they're at. Playing at home, come out, playing with a lot of intensity. Both teams throwing different things at the other opponent offensively, different formations, a lot of different people touching the ball.
1st and 10, 1:42 remains here in this first quarter. Raymer takes it, hands the ball off. Looks like Bird again. Got maybe a yard or two on that. Looks like they're going to give him a couple. Actually, maybe even 3 on that one. So we'll call it 2nd down and 7. Well, as we said, next week we'll be up in Auglaize County at Minster, where the Wildcats will be hosting the Marion Local Flyers, a little bit of a backyard rivalry. And then after that, we'll be heading north to Putnam County for week 6. Celina, the Bulldogs, taking on Ottawa Glandorf. Raymer, he is dropped back at about the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10, and we are under 45 seconds remaining. South with the lone score here in the first quarter, taking advantage of an interception. Raymer drops back to pass, has some time, going deep, and it is going to be a little overthrown. So that's going to bring up a 4th down, but
I tell you, he had a man open on the sideline.
Certainly did, but with the incompletion, South will now be forced to punt the ball with 17.2 seconds remaining.
Their first punt of the evening.
At halftime, we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming basketball schedule, and I'm already thinking about football next year. That punt is going to hit at about the 38-yard line, and that's where it's going to be downed.
Got a late penalty flag coming in.
And it's thrown at about the 49-yard line of Anna. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty is going to be.
Might be a clip.
Could be that illegal block in the back, too. Illegal use of hands, I believe, is what they call it. And that is exactly what it is. Not a new penalty this year. And it'll be from where it's spotted, so it'll be a 10-yard mark off from there. So 3 penalties against Anna for 25 yards here in this first quarter. And with 7.5 ticks remaining, Anna will probably get one play here at the end of the first quarter, and that will end the first 12 minutes. Esser takes it around the left side, and that will end the first quarter after a pickup of about 6 yards.
It'll be interesting, Mark, to see as this game goes on with the number of players Anna always has on their sideline, just to see how much fatigue wears, the other players down defensively, and fresh legs and fresh bodies, and what that'll do for Anna as the game goes on.
Well, with the quarter break, we're going to take a break. After 1 quarter of play, it is Twin Valley South 7, Anna nothing. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. Back here at West Alexandria, second quarter just underway. Anna, as Renner rolls out right side, pass is complete.
That was a new formation we haven't seen with Anna. Really tripped right, rolled out to the right.
That was complete to Todd Treen. I'll pick up out to about the 50-yard line, and Duane, you're going to have to help me where that was about a 20-yard pickup?
Correct.
So 11:45 and counting down. Again going deep, this time across to number 3, and he nearly came back to make the catch. Ashton Berner did a nice job of getting back on the inside of the defender, but just could not quite retrieve it. Second down and 10. The clock stops at 11:39 remaining. Renner, a pass. It is complete. Taken by T.J. Schemmel, but he is going to be dropped for a loss.
I tell you, South's doing a very nice job of their pursuit, breaking down and tackling the ball.
We'll call it third down and 12.
The only thing that could come up, is some type of misdirection the other way, but so far they've done a super job on their pursuit.
11 minutes remaining here in this first half of play. We're in the second quarter as Renner settles in under center. In motion, Todd Treen, Renner, and he is going to be dropped. Going in untouched, number 20, Nate Armstrong, and Renner didn't even see him coming.
Again, another nice defensive stand by Twin Valley South.
A loss of 5 on the play. This time the punt is taken at about the 30-yard line, and
about a gain of 7.
So a pickup of 7, as Duane said, taken at about the 25 to return out to the 32. 10:20 remains. A 7-0 lead for South.
Both teams having a nice crowd, nice following tonight. When you consider over an hour and 15, 20-minute
no
drive.
Question. It's not a drive I would want to make every Friday night. Raymert under center. Takes a snap. On the option, and Anna doing a nice job that time of keeping Raymert contained. Actually lost a couple back to the 30-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 12. Mark Bixler, Duane Warvel, and Bixler Video Productions, also our camera operator Mike Sees, and we are going to have a timeout taken by Twin Valley South. And I said I was going to save this until halftime. We are getting some athletic directors that are getting back in contact with us in regard to the upcoming basketball schedule, and some of the games that definitely are confirmed will on the Adelphia system. Actually, our first 3 games, Coldwater at Versailles, Celina at Greenville, and St. Henry at Tri-Village, have all been confirmed.
Are those girls?
Those are the boys' games of the week. The girls' games that have totally been confirmed are Coldwater at St. Henry, Celina at Greenville, and Greenville at Versailles.
Is that a new St. Henry and Tri-Village? Is that a new
That is a new
contest?
Franklin Monroe dropped St. Henry, and Tri-Village picked him up.
Okay.
So kind of a rematch from 1990, the state championship game, a 71-45 win by the Redskins.
I say that caught my attention there because Tri-Village.
They haven't played them since the state tournament. 9:49 remains here in the second quarter of play. A 7-0 lead for South. The Panthers with it as Raymert back to pass. It's picked off, and he may take it. Raymert, the only player he has to beat. And let's check the number. Number 18, Brian Egbert, with that interception, and he returns it inside the, well, they're going to mark it right at the 10-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 10. That's the toughest of all 1st and goals. Nice job by Egbert on that, defensing that pass. He read it all the way. Renner, the quarterback, takes a snap up the middle. Esser taking that and gets it down inside the 5, down to the 4, so a pickup of 6.
That's a very, very tough break for Twin Valley South because really they were controlling the ball, and defensively they were shutting Anna down, and now they put Anna in great field position.
And you have to wonder what kind of an effect that will have on the South defense. First play, they gave up 6 yards.
Puts a lot of pressure on them right here.
Off tackle left side, and looks like he is down to about the 1 or 2 yard line. So a pickup of a couple.
And really on both sides of the ball, we've had, an interception, several fumbles. South had a fumble, but it was a fumble that went forward for positive yards,
right,
and they recovered that.
Well, South getting the interception that led to their first touchdown. Only touchdown. They lead at 7-0 with 8:45 remaining, and that is taken by Esser in for the touchdown. So with 8:40 remaining, it's a 7-6 ball game. And ironically, both of the touchdowns so far has been 2-yard runs. Doing the kicking, G.J. Hines for Anna. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:40 remaining, it's now Anna 7, Twin Valley South 7. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By MONTAGE Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. and businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs, contact us. Back here as Hines getting ready to tee it up for Anna. 8:40 remains. Saying tee it up, I mentally am thinking golf for whatever reason.
Mark commented earlier about the football field, but South has a very impressive track facility down here with 8 lanes, probably one of the few 8-lane tracks around. And I'm not sure if it might not be the only one in our league.
Well, they were saying that it was all by fundraisers, right. $200,000.
That tells you the support the community has for their athletic program.
Well, 8:40 remaining, and we're knotted up at 7 apiece. Anna and Twin Valley South as Hines kicking that, and it's going to be taken at the 30-yard line by number 20, Nate Armstrong, and that no return on that.
And it'll be interesting to see what that interception and touchdown does for Anna's defensive side of the ball.
Looking down, seeing number 57, Derek Horn, trying to get his defense fired up. A 7-7 ball game as Raymert takes a snap, hands the ball off, first back through, up the middle, and that is Bird. Gets it maybe about a yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 9. Well, prior to that, Duane, South's offensive line doing a nice job of controlling and keeping Anna kind of on their heels.
Yes, they have. They've been moving the football. And I'm not so sure if that didn't surprise Anna.
Raymert takes a snap, pitches the ball back. We may see a reverse. Nope, keeping it. Number 14, Travis Angel.
Got a gain of 2.
Ran it about 20 yards and only picked up a couple. Actually, where they spotted, maybe only picked up a yard.
A yard.
Seven and a half minutes remaining. We're still knotted up, as we said. 7-7. We're in the second quarter of play. The rest of the season, we'll be doing either Midwest Athletic Conference games, Western Buckeye League games, or Greater Western Ohio Conference, and Raymert is sacked for a big loss back to about the 20-yard line. Now they're bringing it up, and they're going to mark him at about the 23.
You know, Mark, you said earlier and mentioned the logo on the middle of the field and reminding you of Penn State in college football tomorrow. There are some huge matchups.
Absolutely.
Michigan, Notre Dame, and Ohio State with Washington.
So Washington or Washington State?
Penn State's got a big one. I'm trying to think.
I've got a schedule here. We can take a look at that. Hopefully it's in there.
But as far as the Big Ten, it's got some good.
And goes to the fumble, and I believe it's going to be South ball. Trying to catch that was number 22, Kurt Poing, and he could not come up with it, fumbled it, and South with another big break.
Number 32 for Twin Valley South on the fumble recovery. Bryant Arntz.
And they mark it at about the 49-yard line. So South in Anna's territory off of that punt. A huge turnover here in the midway point of the second quarter, and Raymert on the keeper tries to turn it up, but right there to make the stop, number 70, Alex Freisler.
Since those first several possessions that South has had, Anna, their defensive line has settled down and pretty much controlling some things.
You look at some of the names for Anna, and typical Anna names, Osloggy, Ziegenbusch, and Auglays and Shelby County names. And what do we have? Whistles and a penalty flag, delay a game. So a 5-yard mark off against South. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 15.
Well, so far we've got a handful of penalties, several interceptions, several fumbles.
You know, in previous games we talked about how clean some of the ball games were, but as clean as those games were, this one taking on a different tone.
And a couple of the sloppy plays have kind of gone in favor of some of the teams. The fumble that went forward for a 1st down.
5:52 remains here in the 2nd quarter of play as Raymer rolls out right side, looks to pass and gets his way close to the original line of scrimmage. He's just shy of the 50. We're going to mark him at the 49 of South. So a pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 12. 5.5 minutes remains. I don't know about yours, but I will be honest. My statistics are going to be very unofficial here in the first half. Raymer drops back to pass, has some time. This one is going to be incomplete, just off of the fingertips of his intended receiver. And is that 14 or 44? I believe 14. Travis Angel could not quite reel it in, and that will bring up a 4th down.
When Raymond started off early, throwing the ball well, but now we're 2 for 7 passing the ball.
Raymer back to punt for the Panthers. Nearly had the last one blocked. That one's a little high, and no rush this time by Anna, and that was taken by number 22, Kurt Hoying, and this time called the fair catch.
Well, definitely enough time. 4:56 to go here for Anna to put some type of drive, sustain some type of drive to see if they can get something in the end zone.
Ball at about the 22-yard line of Anna. As the Rockets come on immediately, no huddle this time. Renner under center, takes the snap, gives it off to number 15, Treen. Treen takes it around the right side, and he gets it out to about the 24-yard line, so a pickup of about 2 on the play.
Again, I can't help but to emphasize the way Twin Valley South defensively is pursuing to the ball and not over-pursuing. Anna several times have had some nice misdirection plays, but South is recovering nicely and taking it to the ball carrier.
What we mentioned is Renner on a keeper, bootlegs out left side this time, and he is going to be dropped as he crosses the 25 at about the 27-yard line, so a pickup of another 2.
Again, another misdirection, and South doing a very nice job, only giving up 2 yards.
Well, you have to wonder if, even though they didn't win on the field against Dixie, the fact that they did pick up a 4-for win, how much did that help their confidence?
Well, a win's a win. Uh-oh.
Now number 32, that's Esser, and he is into Anna territory, and a late penalty flag coming in.
I'm not sure, but okay.
It is against, that is about a 33-yard pickup, by the way. And that is at the end of the play, so it'll be marked off from the 40. A huge penalty.
Well, the defensive back had the angle on the play and really didn't need any type of face mask there to make the play. He had the angle, he had the sidelines.
It's marked off from the 40 at the end of the play down to the 25-yard line, so additional 15 yards tacked on. So with 3:41 remaining, now Anna with great field position. Renner hands the ball off to Esser. Esser gets it across the 25 rather, down to about the 24.
Mark, as we wait here for the next play, you can't help but to think about some of the other matchups this evening in the CCC with Covington traveling to Ansonia and also Miss Cinewall and Bradford playing each other. Two teams looking for a
their
victory.
First win.
And you know both those teams are going to come out and play hard.
Renner hands the ball off. This time it's to Schemmel. Schemmel is dropped for a loss.
If you look at that play, you got 7 red shirts right there on the ball.
Actually, no gain on the play. So that'll bring up a third down. Third down and 9. The ball just across the 25 and about the 24-yard line. Renner takes a snap, looks to pass, going deep, and it is going to be incomplete, in and out of the hands. Nice play defensively by Travis Angel.
And Mark, I really like that play. I like to see field spread, you got one-on-one out there in the flats and throw it up there and see if he can make a play.
Burner, the intended receiver, just could not quite hang on to it. It was there.
Yes, very nicely thrown ball.
Well, it's 4 down territory, 4th and 9. Renner takes the snap, again looking to pass, this time same play, opposite way, and it is incomplete. So South will take over 1st and 10.
South being very resilient tonight, fighting off some tough situations, digging their heels in here at home. 7-7 ball game with 2:25 left in the second quarter.
And the temperature slowly falling too, down to about 75.
And when you say slowly, it is slowly.
I would say by the end of the night we'll be in the 60s. Well, still time for South to do something. 2:25 remaining. Raymert takes the snap, hands the ball off, first back through, and he gets it out close to the 30-yard line. To about the 29 is where they're going to mark it. Is carrying that ball, number 20, Nate Armstrong. For those of you in Celina, in the Celina system, particularly St. Henry, you are probably somewhat familiar with Twin Valley South, having played them about 2 or 3 years back in the playoffs, winning 21-14. I believe that was the last time that a St. Henry team was in the playoffs as well. That the carry out to about the 32-yard line. And a timeout is taken. Anna signaling that timeout. 1:44 remaining. Pick up to be second down and about 2 for Twin Valley South.
Something that's not showing up right now is just the battle that's taking place in the trenches between the offensive linemen and the defensive line of each team.
And it's been a battle, and it's been back and forth. I'm looking at the Associated Press state ranking, some area teams in the state ranking. Of course, one of the schools that we did last week, and of course we'll be doing next week, Marion Local, still ranked number 1 in spite of losing to Coldwater. In Division 5, Versailles is ranked in the top 10. They are 3rd, and Coldwater topping the list in Division 4. Kramer takes the snap, hands the ball off to Bird.
Good second effort, first down.
And it was the second effort that got him the first down. He was tackled, looked like he was going to be dropped inside the 35, which would have left him a little short. But surges forward and gets it out to the 36, and enough for the first down with 1:35 remaining. Raymer back to pass. He is being pressured and finally dropped in the backfield.
As you mentioned, the state rankings mark, that has to be a very, very strong mark for the MAC and those teams.
Absolutely, and one team that was ranked 27th, St. Henry. They received 18 points in Division 5. We mentioned Coldwater is leading the way in Division 4, a team that many thought would probably finish fairly high, didn't even crack the top 10. Kenton, the defending state champion in Division 4, after suffering losses their first two games of the season, only mustered 62 votes.
And a team you're used to hearing, Delphus St. John's.
And I'm trying to see where they are. I'll have to take a look, but I don't even see St. John's in the Division 5. Raymer drops back the pass, a little outlet to Bird. Bird weaves his way through, and we have a penalty flag, and he is at the 40, the 45, the 50, a penalty flag back at about the 30-yard line, and Bird finally brought down in Anna territory at about the 34-yard line, but Duane, that one's probably coming back.
I would think so. I could name or spot out at least two different clips on that play. We only have one flag, and it is coming back.
And that'll be a spot foul as well, so it'll be marked off from about the 29-yard line, a 15-yard penalty. If it indeed is a clip, and let's await the signal. Nope, a block in the back. And there is a difference because the clip is 15, the block in the back is 10. The clock will begin to roll as we are approaching the 50-second mark here in this second quarter of play. All knotted up at 7, and Duane, for the second week in a row, we may end up at halftime tied up. A misdirection and no gain on the play. In fact, maybe a loss of a yard. As Armstrong we'll say no gain, and the clock stops with 37.6 seconds remaining. A timeout taken by Anna.
I think Anna would like to get one more shot here before halftime to try to do some. We watched them warming up, and they do have a very nice field goal kicker. And so even if they have one crack at it, they could put some points on the board from this field position.
Well, some of the other area schools that have cracked the top 10 in Division 2, Vandalia Butler in the Greater Western Ohio Conference is ranked 6th. And Duane, this has to be a little bit of a surprise. Trotwood Madison, a team that you never know what they're going to do in football. This year it's starting off 3-0, and they're ranked in the top 15.
And you'd like to look in school history how many times that's happened.
The Rams have had some good football programs over the years, but you just never know. And that bring up a 4th down and a country mile. Another timeout taken by the Rockets. 4th and 27. I still like the 4th and a country mile.
And Bird has rushed 11 times so far, unofficial, and that doesn't include the 3 rushes that he's had, at least 2 that came back on penalties.
32, just over 32 seconds remaining here. And Duane, you did mention the other ball games in the area. Covington, and especially in the cross-county conference, Covington is at Ansonia. Arcanum is at Bethel, Mississinawa Valley is at Bradford, and Tri-County North at National Trail.
And that Arcanum-Bethel game is going to probably shape up to be an awful good contest.
And with Arcanum being 2-0 in the conference, that you're absolutely right. That could make things interesting. If Arcanum can come away with a win, that puts them at 3-0, and a penalty flag is thrown, and where it's coming.
And Arcanum has one of the better backs in the league.
And this one is going to be against Anna, encroachment. So march off 5 yards.
And probably not a real bad penalty there. Trying to go for the block.
30.8 seconds remaining here in this second quarter of play. A 7-7 ball game. Anna and Twin Valley South. Raymert gets this one off. It's going to hit at about the 50 and takes an Anna bounce. And it is down by Brad Unger at about the 47-yard line. So the Rockets will have 23 seconds to do something.
Fourth punt of the half for Twin Valley South.
Mark Bixler joined by Duane Warvel, West Alexandria, Ohio. And we've been as far north thus far as Celina for our game of the week. And Esser carrying that down to about the 39-yard line is 15 seconds and counting down. And this is about as far south as we'll go this year anyway. And they're going to try and get one last play off. 5 ticks remaining as Renner takes a snap. Drops back, looks to pass across the middle, and it is batted down, and that's going to be pass interference. And guess what? Anna's going to have one more play, and Travis Angel looked like he might have had his hand on his back.
Yeah, from this angle, very hard to see, but you know, just looking at it, it looked like a good defensive play, but you couldn't see that backside hand and where it was at.
And that'll be a 15-yard mark off. And the automatic first down, no time on the clock, so Anna will get one last play. It's going to put it down at about the 22-yard line.
We're going for a field goal here.
And let's see where they're going to mark it down. It's going to be marked at about the 29-yard line, so that'll make it a 39-yard field goal, just shy of the 40. No time on the clock. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Hines
what a
with
great
the
kick. Well, like we said in warm-ups, we saw him boot a few. He just had the right distance. It was on the right hash for him to kick it, and did a fine job.
Well, we've completed one half of play. It is Anna 10, Twin Valley South 7. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Twin Valley South, West Alexandria. Mark Bixler along with Duane Warvel. And Duane, let's go ahead and look at your stats and run through those. Then we'll take a listen to Twin Valley South, and we'll run through Anna's stats.
Okay, right now, Bird has been the workhorse for the Panthers, carrying the ball 10 times on 30 yards. Had a couple really nice yards, couple big runs, but were called back due to penalties. Passing the ball right now, they are 2 for 7. And really, a big part of the difference right now in the game is Bird had a 4.5-yard touchdown run, and then he also kicked the extra point, and that came with 4:12 in the first quarter. And really since then, Anna has settled down defensively and has done a nice job. A couple things that have hurt Twin Valley South. They have had a total of 5 penalties, and they've also thrown 1 interception and had 1 fumble. On the positive side of that, number 14, Travis Angle, did pick off a Anna throw for a nice interception, which I believe led to their first touchdown. And then number 32, Brant Arntz, had a nice fumble recovery on one of Anna's punts, one of Twin Valley South's punts that Anna mishandled.
Well, a couple of big things for Twin Valley South. Late in the interception, the Anna interception that ended up leading to the lone touchdown for Twin Valley South, and then the face masking penalty on the last possession ended up costing them as well, because they got the field goal out of that.
Well, and really both teams have scored coming off of 2 big turnovers. What would we say earlier? Both touchdowns were 4.5-yard runs.
2-yard runs, actually.
So both points coming on turnovers, and then here late, like you said, the face mask, which puts them into field goal range. And what an awesome kick there at the end of the second quarter for Anna to go in with the lead, 10-7.
And especially after, a game where South has basically controlled the trenches, the line of scrimmage.
And I've been very impressed with how South has come out here tonight and played. It's easy to look at the box scores, and it's easy to look at opponents, but that's why you play these games. Coming into this on paper, you would think Anna would definitely have the advantage with, just looking at some of the scores of some of the South games. But South has been very impressive so far to the half of the football game.
Well, as you said, it's a 10-7 ball game, and let's catch a little glimpse of Twin Valley South's marching band. We set a 10-7 lead for the Anna Rockets, and let's look at the scoring for Anna here in this first half of play. The Rockets, we do have 5 that are unofficial a run of 5 yards. Not sure who that was credited to. I think it was Esser actually with that 5, but can't prove it by me. That's the reason I said the Anna statistics will be very unofficial here in the first half. We had Esser unofficially with 9 carries, 58 yards. Also number 25 carrying the ball, that's TJ Schemmel, 3 carries, 2 yards. And number 15, Todd Treen, with a carry for 2 yards. Also, Renner, the quarterback, carried it twice, and he has a negative 3 yards, and a total of 59 yards rushing for the Rockets in the first half. In passing, we had 6 yards going unofficial. I'm not sure who had those 6 yards. Again, I think it was actually, it might have been 15, Todd Treen with that reception, but we had him with a 20-yard catch, and also then 25, which is TJ Schemmel. He made a catch, and then for a loss, actually, -2, so a total of 24 yards in receiving. The total offense, 83 yards. So South not doing that bad of a job defensively, limiting the Rockets to 83 yards in offense, unofficial.
No, Anna coming into this ball game would be a team that, at least personally, I have watched them over the last 3 seasons, that has the real potential to put some points on the board. And I think Twin Valley South has got to be pleased with the pursuit that they are having on the ball on the defensive side of things. Anna has lined up in some different formations. They have thrown some wide outs to the right and left. They've gone some twin formation. And then one of their big plays, they went a set of, triplets out to the right side of the field. And, they've gone some misdirection, and South has been very, very active on the pursuit of the ball. And we've had a number of tackles where there's 5, 6, 7 South defenders making the play.
Well, we've got the remainder of the football season coming up, and I think some great matchups. Of course, next week, as we said, we'll be back in the Midwest Athletic Conference when the Flyers of Marion Local will play their backyard rival, the Minster Wildcats, over at Minster at Memorial Stadium, and should be another great matchup. Seems like it always is.
Well, it should be a dandy, and if the weather holds out like it is, it should be an evening where we've got some nice temperatures and two communities that are just going to be hyped for that ball game. The type of spirit and loyalty, that those communities have for their teams, and so it should be very, very fun.
Well, and the Wildcats, of course, coming off of that 20-7 loss a couple weeks ago at Versailles at Whole Field, last week laying it on Parkway, 56-20 the final score.
And anything could happen that evening. We watched the St. Henry game, the first half, Marion Local, 14-14. Second half, totally different. Again, with Todd Beckman going down, we know that had a lot to do with that.
And certainly our prayers are with Todd.
Sure.
And we're just glad that, in the email that I got from his father, from Tim, he said that they're just glad that there wasn't a tear or anything.
Right, and Todd's got a promising future ahead, and hopefully he's going to end up in Buckeye Land and just do wonders there. But, getting back to the Minster program and Marion Local, if you go up north and look at the success that those teams have had, and just look at the school district, whether it's volleyball or basketball or football, those communities, it's so neat to see the support that they give those young men and women at those schools.
In week 6, in a couple of weeks, we'll be going up to Putnam County. And speaking of Putnam County, that we talk about the Midwest Athletic Conference and the Shelby County Athletic League. And basketball in particular, you've got another great basketball conference, the Putnam County League, with Leipzig, Kalida, Ottoville, Miller City, Columbus Grove. Just to name just those 5. Just a tremendous Pandora Gilboa, a team that when my brother was coaching at Kalida and girls, they weren't that good, but hey, things changed.
And you mentioned Kalida, who's had their fair share of success.
A lot of success. Dick Quartercracks, of course, we went up and did the St. Henry Kalida basketball game last year at the Palace, St. Michael's Gymnasium, and did a little interview with Dick and talking to some of the athletic directors around the Midwest Athletic Conference. Dick, they say Dick will probably coach basketball until he'll probably die on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, we don't want that to help. You mentioned, earlier, Delphus, their basketball program should be extremely strong this year.
Defending basketball champions in Division IV, and of course, coached by a former Darkonian and Brett Norris, and
went to St. Francis and had a nice career there playing basketball. And I'm not sure, but I believe when he played there in college, he was one of the top free throw as far as percentages go. And he's raised in a basketball family.
Absolutely,
and he learned
Danny.
from his dad, and so he knows quite a bit about basketball.
Absolutely, and I said Brett got something that his dad never managed to get, and that's a state championship.
But you know what? Dad was a big part of it.
Oh, no question.
And Dad had to be extremely proud. That's one thing I thoroughly enjoy. And you go to Versailles and you look at a father-son relationship that now goes into their careers when a father and son can be supportive of each other and be just as proud of what is taking place.
Well, you mentioned Versailles, another father-son where they're very supportive of each other is the Hetricks.
Sure.
Al at Versailles, been there over 30 years. I'm not going to say how long, but and of course his son, second year down at Brookville, and he's getting that program back to where it once was.
It started off there at Dixie and helped get things underway there. So those traditions carry on, and I'm sure it makes for an interesting Christmas and other holidays to gouge each other and talk about that. And I'm sure they probably just say, hey, we need to stop talking about football and enjoy these holidays.
Wives are saying, hey, enough is enough. It is halftime. We will be back with the start of the third quarter, where the Anna Rockets have taken a 10-7 lead after half number 1 over the Twin Valley South Panthers. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By MONTAGE Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us. Back here at West Alexandria, where the Panthers will be receiving to start this second half, they find themselves trailing by 3, 10-7, as E.J. Hines with the field goal after time had expired in the first half, giving the Rockets the 3-point lead. 10-7 is the score, and that kick is going to be taken by number 14 as Angel brings it out to the 25, and he slips at about the 27, and that's where South will set up 1st and 10. Mark Bixler with you, being joined by Duane Warvel, and our camera operator Mike Sees doing another bang-up job for us.
South really needs to come out this first possession and do something with the ball. They went in at halftime kind of a downer with the long field goal by Anna, and so they need to come out and get a little more shot and arm here. Something positive.
Start out the way they did offensively in the first half.
Started off the game well.
Raymert marks out the signals, takes it, tries to go left side rather, and he is tackled by the right side of Anna's defensive line.
There was nothing there. He took one step and boom.
Derek Horn in on that stop for the Rockets. Actually a loss of a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 11. They say a loss of 2 actually. $11:20 remains. We're in the 3rd quarter of play. 10-7 Anna. Bird. We have a penalty flag coming on the far side of the line, and Bird got it to about the 26. So gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and we'll have to wait and see what that penalty is and where it came in. It may be against South. And that is the case, an illegal block in the back.
You know, Mark, as you have the privilege to broadcast the game, you kind of watch a lot of different things, but I think the officials have done a very, very fine job tonight, keeping the game under control. Their positioning on the field, and you don't always have that when you're working within a crew.
Well, we said that early on in this game that there was a lot of laundry that was flying, but it's kind of settled down until late in the first half. And it's kind of picked off where it ended. Picked up where it ended in the first half. And as we said, that a 10-yard penalty, so it'll be 2nd down and about 22 for South. As going in motion is Angel. Raymert looks to pass. It is caught by Angel out on the far side line, and he gets it out close to the 24-yard line, so a pickup of about 6. Just shy of the 25. So actually a pickup of about, we'll say 9 on the play, so 3rd down and 13.
The ball seemed to hang in the air quite a bit there. That's one can be picked off and go in for 6 real easy.
Well, we approach the 10-minute mark here in this 3rd quarter of play. 10-7, Anna leading this over South. This cross-county conference matchup. Raymert in some trouble, and he is dropped for a loss. Again in on the stop, number 57, Derek Horn. So that'll bring up a 4th down. So Duane not the positive that the Panthers were looking for here to start things off in the second half.
The defensive line of Anna has done a very fine job this first possession. The push and the surge that they're getting is unbelievable.
This is Tom Meyer, by the way.
Very nice punt.
Very good punt, and takes a south roll, and it's going to come to rest at about the 25-yard line. Wanted to add that Tom Meyer, the head coach of the South Panthers here, Twin Valley South Panthers, in his first year here, so trying to get the fortunes reversed.
And one thing you look at here, the kids are executing. They're well disciplined for his first year in a new program. Really going in a positive direction.
9:25 as Anna will have their first possession to start this second half of play. Renner settles in under center.
Trap.
And it is taken by number 18.
About an 8-yard pickup.
A pickup about to the 35-yard line, and actually it is enough for the first down. So a pickup of 10 on that one.
And it comes out in a slot formation.
Brian Egbert carrying the ball for the Rockets that time. This time it looks like it's to Esser.
We talked earlier, Mark, with the number of kids Anna has, and over the last few years they've been able to platoon young men, on one side of the ball. I just wonder, how fatigued, just overpowering strength, if that'll enter into things here.
Looking at the roster, I believe they have around 66 players that they brought down here. That's amazing for a Division VI school.
Well, especially, in its third year?
Third year at the varsity level. Esser carries that, picks up the first down out to the 42, so pickup of about 7.
And success builds success, and they've had it. They've had a lot of success at Anna so far.
And they're trying to make a playoff run for the third year in a row. Mark Bixler with you. Duane Warvel and penalty flag in the back, and that's a little misdirection as carrying that number 25, Schemmel. Schemmel around the left side. He's brought down just shy of the 30.
I believe that one's coming back.
I believe you're right. Where it came from, and also a flag back at the 50, and it's
not everybody was
illegal
set.
Shift and a holding.
Take your pick.
Now, the illegal shift is from the line of scrimmage, and the holding, which would be probably at about the 50, would be a 10-yard penalty. So I believe that's what I thought they were going to do. They're going to decline the illegal shift, and they'll take the holding.
Well, both teams have had a big play come back. South Bird had a nice return on a run, and it was brought back to a block in the back, and here Anna with a big run.
Now that puts it'll be about 1st and 16. Renner back to pass, and he gets it off. It is complete, and he is tackled. Actually, he had his knee down. It'll be a pickup of 2.
And really credit South there on the rush, because if that rush isn't there and he has time to look some things over, that probably would have been a big play.
Pickup of 4, 2nd and 13, and that pass is incomplete. So the clock stops with 7:47 remaining, and that will bring up 3rd down, and they say 14. I'd say it's closer to 13.
Screen.
And it is complete. He breaks one tackle, and there is a penalty flag coming in, and where it's coming in, I'd say it's going to be against the offense. We'll wait and see what it is. A little block in the back. He did not get the first down. He's at about the 49, so you have to wonder if it's going to be declined, and indeed will be. And it brings up a 4th down.
As well as Anna started out on that possession, it sure ended up awful sloppy.
Pick up a 5 on that reception. It's 4th down and 8. The punt taken by Bird at about the 15-yard line, and he is running backwards. Brings it out to about the 20-yard line, and he runs out of bounds. And a late penalty flag is going to be thrown and mark off about 15 yards for the late hit.
You know, that's the right call, but it sure came awful late.
Yes, it did.
And I don't think it was that hard of a call to make. Anytime he ends up in the second lane on an 8-lane track, there's probably been a hit.
There was no question he was going out, and he actually was out of bounds when the hit was made, and now the discussion taking place with the officials.
And Bird did an outstanding job picking up positive yards.
Absolutely, because it looked like he was going to be dropped back at about the 10-yard line, and somehow weaved his way through.
The coverage was there, just didn't come up with a tackle.
Well, the unsportsmanlike conduct call, and that'll be tacked on at the end of the run, a 15-yard penalty. Or what? It is against South.
If they march it off against South, I'm sure there's going to be some boos.
It is here. Where, okay, going back to when I met with one of the officials in one of the officials groups that is based out of Greenville, and it is where the reception is made. That's where they go back and they bring it forward from there. So that's why.
It's about the same spot.
Yes.
Where the foul took place.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. You're absolutely right. In fact, I believe it is that same spot. And Anna's defense, the defensive line, just starting to step up and starting to dominate here in the second half.
You know, Mark, and of all the rules, if that's the way it's interpreted, I really don't like that, because you almost get a free shot on a fella. You know, if he picks up
especially if he picks up 15.
Run,
well, actually,
sure. As soon as he gets to 15 yards, you got a free shot. So,
and that's something that maybe the National Federation or the OHSAA is going to have to take a look at that, because you're absolutely right.
Because he was clearly making his way out of bounds. He wasn't making an attempt to go upfield, and definitely a late hit.
And virtually no gain from where he actually ended up. Off the fingertips of the intended receiver, and that being Will Nelson. And I tell you what, I believe that was Andrew Birch that really laid it on Nelson.
He didn't have much of a chance there. He was wide open.
As soon as he put his fingertips on the ball, he was hit.
But that's high school football.
3rd and 13, 6:28 remaining. The clock stopped after the incomplete pass. We're in the third quarter. Mark Bixler along with Duane Warvel, West Alexandria, Ohio. Twin Valley South High School for this cross-county conference matchup between the Rockets and the Panthers.
Block.
That is incomplete and nearly picked off. Raymer
Yes, it was.
Had the ball tipped and nearly making a diving catch for that. Number 18, Brian Egbert. And that'll bring up a 4th down, so Raymer is stepping back to punt the ball once again. Back deep for the Rockets is Kurt Hoying.
Boy, they were awful close to getting that one, Mark.
Hoying's going to let that one drop, and it's going to roll sideways and finally end up at about the 49-yard line of Anna. 6:13 remains here in this third quarter. It's been a scoreless third quarter thus far, 10-7 the score. And
really a hard game to figure out.
Both teams struggling somewhat here, and offensively at least here in the second half. Esser takes it around the right side, and he is going to pick up about 4 yards into South territory, down to about the 47. So a pickup of about 4.
And you can't really say either team is dominating the other team. South came out at the beginning of this game and put a couple nice drives together.
But only managed to score after a turnover.
Right.
And the same really for Anna.
And Anna's not necessarily just, driving the ball down South's defense. There's a bite on the ball.
Renner, and it is complete.
No, it dropped
in and out of the hands. The intended receiver, number 33, Josh Carter.
Really, the defensive back came up and bid on that, and if the ball could have been thrown deep down the sideline, it would have been 6.
The clock stops on the incomplete pass at 5:30 remaining here in the third quarter. It's 3rd down and 5. Renner gives the ball off. This time it is to Schemmel.
First down.
And he has the first down, as you said.
They've run that trap twice tonight, and when they've run that and the guard is pulled, they've picked up some nice yardage.
Not a 10-yard pickup by Schemmel. Gives him 21 for the second half and 23 for the ball game.
And again, Anna, we've seen several different formations. We've seen several different misdirections on bootlegs, a couple traps. There we have
Renner.
A reverse.
Hands the ball off to number 18. That's Egbert.
Mark, that goes back to the pursuit we talked about in the first half, and there's a perfect case where you've got, diagonally, you're running 12, 13 yards, and South is right there on the pursuit making the tackle.
And that a loss of 2, so it'll be a loss of a yard, so 2nd down and 11. As we said, a 10-7 ball game. Anna leading this, and this kind of a naked bootleg out to the left, and Renner runs into Bird and gets it to about the 40. It'll be a loss of about 2 on the play.
You got to like the way Bird plays. He plays on both sides of the ball. He likes taking on hits offensively, and he likes putting the leather to people on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I liked Renner that time. He wasn't afraid to put the leather on Bird either. He took her right at him. Renner this time rolls out right side, looks to pass. It is complete, and he's going to be close to the first down, but shy by about 1.5 yards.
Boy, that was a really nice pass.
Going with that reception. Actually is going to be about 2 yards shy. So a pickup of about 9 on that. Renner gives the ball off to Esser.
Well, I think he's got it.
And he definitely has it. He needed to get it to about the 27, and he's at the 25. So about a pickup of 4 on that one. And with 3.5 minutes to go, the clock will continue to roll.
And so far, Mark, this might be one of Anna's most impressive drives that they've had.
1st and 10 at the 25 of South. Esser takes the pitch from Renner, and he is met just as you say that.
That pursuit is just outstanding. If there's one thing South can say they've done well tonight is they have pursued the football well.
Had a loss of 2 on the play.
I have not seen Anna really been able to turn the corner on South really all night.
On that carry, Schemmel carrying that ball, gets it back across the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it a pickup of 2. So 3rd and 9 for Anna with 2:15 remaining. Renner again under center. Looks to pass. It is complete. And a first down for the Rockets inside the 15 down to about the 12.
Very nice play. Fake dive with the tight end. Going down the field about 8 yards, 9 yards, turning, making the reception.
Elsass with that reception.
Almost sounds like a Jackson Center name.
Yeah. Well, Shelby County. Close enough. Taking it around the right side this time is Brian Egbert.
And one of the rare times that they were able to turn the corner and pick up some positive yards.
Pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. A minute and a half remaining, actually a little less than that now.
Twins out to the left.
Renner takes a snap to give up the
Straight
middle.
dive.
It's to Esser, and he is inside the 5 down to about the 2, it looks like. Maybe even down to the 1. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 2. So about a pickup of 4 on that one. 3rd and 1. They can still get a first down without scoring. The Rockets, for the most part tonight, have gone without a huddle almost all night.
And the right side of the line has done a really nice job for Anna. There they go back to the right.
Esser again takes it in for the
Popped it in.
touchdown. And it comes at the 44.7 mark of the 3rd quarter. Another 2-yard run by Esser. Hines on to do the kicking. Remember, Hines has that 39-yard field goal that ended the first half. The snap, it's down. The kick is up, and it is good.
Without a doubt, Mark, Anna's most impressive drive of the evening.
And that gives the Rockets the 10-point lead here, 17-7. And you're absolutely right. That wasn't pretty at times, but
A couple of big 3rd down plays to keep the drive alive.
and that touchdown gives the Rockets the 17-7 lead, as we said, with just under 45 ticks remaining here in this 3rd quarter of play. We're going to keep it here.
And, you know, we talked earlier on different formations. They had a couple formations where you had twins left, and before you had a fake dive and the tight end going about 8 yards for a nice reception.
And they really did a nice job of mixing up between
yeah, the number of
between
people
Esser
that's touching
and,
the ball.
and Schemmel running the ball as well. And the Rockets getting ready to kick off with the 10-point lead here in the 3rd quarter, 17-7. We wondered how South would come out after giving up that late field goal to fall behind here right at the end of the 2nd quarter of play. Offensively, they really struggled. Defensively, they did not look all that bad.
No, I think Anna worked extremely hard for that touchdown.
Well, Angel takes it, gets it outside at about the 15-yard line, is coming up, helping out with that tackle, number 52, Andrew Birch.
I can't help but to go back on the punt return that Bird had and the personal foul, the hit out of bounds, that really they gained nothing out of.
They gained absolutely nothing.
And if you could tack 15 yards onto that, the field position, you know, I don't know, hindsight's 20/20, but, you know, 15 more yards out of that, and plus just the whole momentum of picking up that big penalty might do something for you.
The penalty was right at the 25. He caught the ball at the 10. They took it back to the 10 and marched off the 15 yards. Bird carries it to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as we are now down to the 25-second mark.
If you go back on that play, if the defensive lineman does not make that play, the linebacker is nowhere in sight. That could have been a big gain.
Well, will it be the final play of the third quarter of play as the Panthers make their way to the line of scrimmage? But we are down to about the 5-second mark. Raymert leads the team to the line of scrimmage, and he is not going to be able to get it off. Well, that will end the third quarter of play, and only one touchdown. It's scored by Anna after 3 quarters of play. Right now it's Anna 17, Twin Valley South 7. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. We welcome you back here to West Alexandria, 17-7. Anna leading it by 10 over the South Panthers. A touchdown and a field goal, and that is a keeper by Raymert. Looks like a loss of about a yard on the play, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11.
That'll be his 4th run of the second half that has gone for negative yardage.
Well, that's a credit to Anna's defense. They struggled with that particular play in the first half on the option defensively, especially on the first couple of drives.
Yeah, he had a positive gain of 4 and then 14 in the first half on that play.
Final quarter of play, by the way, as Raymert drops back to pass. It is complete and in and out of the hands.
Very nice hit.
Caleb Betzner couldn't come up with that one. And it'll bring up a 4th down, and the Panthers will be forced to punt. Raymert doing it again as with the incomplete pass.
Number 3 with a big-time hit there. Burner, a big-time stick because that was going to be a reception.
Well, Raymert forced to punt once again. A low snap, gets it off, barely. And the reception is taken by number 22, Hoying, at about the 48-yard line. And he takes it down to the 42, and that's where Anna will set up 1st and 10, and Duane may be their best starting field position of the ball game.
Without a doubt it is, and go back to that punt. I'm still surprised at this point in time that they haven't gotten one blocked because they're getting a good surge in there, and they're not far from blocking that punt.
11 minutes remaining. Renner.
Straight dive up the middle.
He
breaks
Esser
through.
Nearly broke a tackle, but coming up with that, number 7, Brad Unger.
Definitely saved a touchdown there. I'm not sure if he was not touched coming through the line there.
Pickup of about 13 on that, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rockets of Anna.
Looks like Kurt Esser went out with a leg cramp, working on him over there on the sideline.
Well, in a couple of weeks, Anna will be traveling up to Ansonia to what has become a kind of a rivalry in the cross-county conference. And a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Well, without a doubt, it's been a very, very competitive game between Anna and Ansonia. And we saw one year, really, Toby with a long touchdown run that ended up giving Ansonia the victory.
Well, the pass is complete To number 3, Ashton Berner. About a 3-yard pickup. Well, we're under the 10-minute mark, actually down to about 9:45 remaining here, and a timeout is taken by Anna. .946 is what we said remains here. Mark Bixler with you, and Bixler Video Productions. Glad to be with you here on Channel 3, Greenville Public Access Television on the Time Warner system, also on Adelphia Cable Entertainment in Minster, Versailles, and Celina, Channel 11. And Duane Anna kind of, after leading by just 3 at halftime, leading it by 10 here, and with it late in the about midway through the fourth quarter, a quarter of the way through the quarter, the way South has been moving the ball, the clock becomes their enemy at this point.
I really believe Anna's going to go to the air here and try to pick up a touchdown. If they can put one in at this point in time, that would be almost a backbreaker.
The nail in the coffin. Well, they are bringing her wide out.
You've got 2 shots here to get a first down.
Josh Carter wide to the right. Renner gives the ball to Esser. Actually, the pass is incomplete, and he was trying to get it off, but was just as he was throwing it, Nate Armstrong hitting, and it falls incomplete, bringing up a 4th down. And you're right, with the ball being at about the 26-yard line, this is 4-down territory for the Rockets.
And that really hurt because they needed to pick up 4 or 5 yards there. Don't need to get it all, but you need to get a little closer.
Right. And you have to wonder, they ran the slant a couple times and did get at least one completion off of it.
There he comes again on the backside. Inside
and
screen.
In and out of the hands.
If that play could have been executed, that would have been trouble on the inside screen.
Josh Carter could not quite reel that one in, and you're right, Nate Armstrong was coming from that right side of the defense of Twin Valley South and virtually coming in untouched.
And I don't, give him credit. He's done that several times tonight. That's really broken up some big plays possibly for Anna.
Well, with the incomplete pass, the clock stops at 9:37 remaining here in this final quarter of play. Anna leading it by the touchdown and a field goal. It's 10-7. Angle in motion as Raymert drops back to pass.
Picked off.
Flare out to Bird, and it was nearly picked off. You're right, and nearly coming up with that. Ryan Egbert. And absolutely right again, Duane. That would have been 6 had he picked it off.
And I think initially, number 18, Brian Egbert got his hands on it, but then I'm not sure. The defensive back, number 3, came up and almost got the pick. Berner almost got it off of Egbert's hands to walk in for 6.
9.5 minutes remaining. Final quarter of play. 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. Raymert hands the ball off, and a loss on the play back to about the 25, about a loss of, we'll say 3, depending on where they spot it.
Mark, I really think Anna and the coaching staff has done a nice job evaluating and looking things over and making some key adjustments the second half, because they have really stopped South in what they were doing offensively. Because South isn't doing anything different really than they did the first half, but Anna has really made some nice adjustments.
The clock continues to roll. We're under 9 minutes remaining here in this final quarter of play. A 17-7 lead for the Rockets of Anna against Twin Valley South here at West Alexandria, Twin Valley South High School. Raymert back to pass, and it is caught in and out of the hands. Intended receiver, Brad Unger. Looked like he had it momentarily, but just couldn't quite maintain possession. And that brings up a 4th down, and Duane, you have to wonder, with the fact that he's going to be punting from inside his 15, will they go after this one?
I think they will. I tell you,
and he just barely got it off. Takes a south roll, and it's going to finally...
They can't be but a half arm length from that ball.
They've been close the last several punts. Ball resting at the 49-yard line. That's where the Rockets will set up 1st and 10. Their own 49, 8.5 minutes exactly remains.
And really for South so far this second half, they've had one completion and passing, very few offensive yards, and Anna has done a nice job stopping them.
Renner gives the ball off to Egbert. Egbert tries to turn the corner, gets it into Panther territory down to the 49, a pickup of a couple.
Number 88 for Twin Valley South tonight is, if you look at film, is going to show up doing a nice job. He's getting his hands on a lot of plays. If he's not making the tackle, he's sure slowing down the ball carrier so Pursuit can pick up the offensive man. 2nd down and 8.
Esser takes it around the right side. He's into the clear. He has a couple men to beat. And he's inside the 20 down to about the 13-yard line. Well, they're saying he was down. So a big pickup on that one. About a 36-yard pickup by Esser. He's had a couple big runs, one in the first half for 33, and then that one for about 36. Well, a touchdown here would just about seal South's fate, if it hasn't been sealed already. And a late penalty flag coming in, and it's going to be illegal procedure against the Rockets. So back him up 5 yards. Instead of 1st and 10 from the 13, it's going to be 1st and 15 from about the 18.
And overall, Mark, it's been kind of an ugly game. We've had a lot of penalties. For the 4th game of the year, you might see this in your first couple games of the season, but we've had several turnovers, quite a few penalties, and been some key penalties.
Another penalty flag.
Those things shouldn't be happening 4 games into the year.
And again, illegal procedure. Back him up 5 yards. That's the 3rd penalty that we have against the Rockets for 20 yards here in the second half. 6 for the night for 45.
And that's, you just don't normally see that out of an Anna ball club. They're well disciplined.
7:52 remains. We're under 8 minutes here in this final quarter of play. Renner again to Esser, and he is tripped up as he tries to roll outside, and coming up with that ankle tackle was Nate Armstrong.
Really, Anna was in a position to play power football, shrink the field there inside the 20, and march in for a score. And now you force yourself. You're in a situation where this is an awful long field goal. You need some yardage here. You need to pick up some positive ground.
Well, coming into the ball game is number 81. That has been Elsas. And the give is to Esser. Esser cuts it back up the middle. Gets it close to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
One more nice carry, though, does get you into a nice position in the center of the field for a decent attempt for a field goal.
And where they would probably spot the ball even now would be roughly about a 33-yard field goal, which he's definitely within his range even now. Going for the corner, and it is going to be intercepted. A big interception coming up with that Steve Bird, and a fumble.
But they say he's down.
Well, Renner throws the interception with 6:37 remaining. Bird coming up with the pick. And so the Panthers will set up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Well, if there was one guy on the field that I probably wouldn't try to pick on or go after, it would probably be Bird.
Raymert under center for the Panthers. Down by 10 points. They need something, and they need a quick. Bird.
Positive run.
Around the left side, and a pickup of about 6. We'll call it 2nd and 4. Egbert coming up with a stop for the Rockets. As we are winding down here as we approach the halfway point of this final quarter of play. And a penalty flag, and this one may be an illegal substitution. And indeed that is. So a 5-yard penalty. And the clock stops with 5:59 remaining.
Now you look at it, Mark, we're probably pushing going on 12 penalties combined for the evening.
Now we have unofficially 6 for the Rockets.
And I've got 7 for Twin Valley South.
So a baker's dozen.
Got an end around reverse.
Taking that as Angel.
Throw.
He's going to throw the ball downfield, and that is going to be picked off. Who came up with that? It was intended for, if I can check the number 12, it looks like. Joby Hickey.
I believe number 3 came up with that interception for Anna.
Ashton Berner. So with 5:32 remaining, the Rockets will take over at the Panther 47-yard line. Renner gives the ball to Egbert. Egbert brings it around the right side, turns up. He's stuck by Bird. A penalty flag at about the 45-yard line.
Takes us up to number 14. 14 penalties for the game.
It is holding against Anna, and that'll be a 10-yard mark off. So that the 4th penalty of the half against Anna for 30 yards here in the second half. The 7th of the night for 55. 5:15 remains. Renner gives the ball to Esser, and they stacked the line that time, and the Panthers did, and actually a loss on the play of a yard. Ball at the 44-yard line of Anna. 4:50 and counting down here in this final quarter of play. Still the 10-point lead for the Rockets. Panthers taking the 7-0 lead, and
Inside handoff.
they get it back up to about the 45, and a pickup of about a yard, and that's about it.
And we have not seen that tonight. Little misdirection, handoff to the tailback, and you had flanker coming back for a little misdirection, inside handoff the other way.
On the timeout taken by the Panthers here with 4:33 remaining. We will take a timeout with that. With the score, Anna 17, Twin Valley South 7. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By MONTAGE Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us. 4.5 minutes remain here in this final quarter of play, with Anna leading Twin Valley South 17-7. Mark Bixler with Duane Warvel as Esser takes the handoff, takes it around the left side, and gets it on a pickup of about 5. Another timeout taken by I believe, the Panthers, taking this from Twin Valley South, taking the timeout. It'll be 4th down and 11 when play resumes.
And, you know, Mark, you can't really complain about the effort both teams have given tonight. Even now, with 4:25 left and South down 10, their kids have played hard all evening, and I was extremely impressed the way they came out tonight, ready to play.
Well, like you know, we mentioned earlier tonight, a couple weeks ago in the opening night of the cross-county conference, Anna hosting Tri-County North, taking it to the Panthers. Last week, Tri-County North knocking off Twin Valley South. So if you go by game situation,
and you know, North and South is a big rivalry.
Absolutely.
So you know, anything could happen on that given night.
Well, play just about ready to resume. As we said, 4:25 remaining, with Anna leading it by the 10-point margin, 10-7 or 17-7 the score, as the Rockets elect to punt the ball. And that one was nearly blocked, and a fumble, and who got it?
Looks like South got it.
Looks like South may have fell on it, and indeed did.
That was awful close on getting blocked.
And it was both ends. South nearly coughed it up, and Anna nearly came up with it at the end. 4:17 remains here in this final quarter of play. Mark Bixler, Duane Warvel with you here tonight, also joined by our camera operator, Mike Sees. Raymert still in a quarterback for the Panthers. Drops back, looks to pass, and throws it across the middle, and Angel can't come up with it. It's thrown a little short, and it falls incomplete. And the Panthers with it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from their own 30.
The Panthers this half are 1 for 6 throwing the ball.
And Renner unofficially 5 for 9 with 1 interception here in the second half. So throwing it a little more and a little better than the first half. We had him 3 for 8. That is complete. Angel with it. And he gets out of bounds in Anna territory at the 47-yard line, and there was no question. They have to score. They have to get a touchdown quickly, and they need the clock stopped, and he did a good thing in getting out of bounds.
Yes, he did. A very good reception, very nice pass, and then being a very smart ball player and getting out of bounds and stopping the clock.
The clock stops at 4:02 remaining here in this final quarter of play. 17-7, Anna leading it across the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for Caleb Betzner.
You know, a score here would be real interesting.
Yes, it would. And then an onside kick.
Sure, and since we're here, it might as well get as interesting as we can get.
Absolutely. You know, we've been doing this, at least on Greenville Public Access Television for, well, we did the entire season last year, and thus far this season we have not had an overtime. Not saying that it's going to get to that point, but Raymert drops back, looks to pass across the middle. It is complete. Coming up with that, number 12, Joby Hickey. Enough for the first down, and they are at the Anna 32-yard line. The clock will continue to roll once the chains are moved.
Didn't get the gain on that, Mark. What did we have on that reception?
I would say about
fumble.
15 yards. Now both sides claiming they have it, and Anna has it. And oh, what a huge turnover by South.
Check that.
17-7. Well, with the Panther being a cat, was that their 9th life?
Be interesting to see if Anna goes back to the right side of the ball where they've had some success here. Again, they do.
Around the right side is carrying that number 15, Todd Treen.
You know, when they've really needed some positive yardage, Mark, they've gone to that right side.
That was Treen's first carry of the second half that we have him for, and a pickup of 8 yards. So 2nd down and 2, as we are now down to inside 3:15 remaining here in the final quarter. Esser takes it around the left side, and this time beats the corner. He's
still on his feet.
Knocked out. Well, I thought they were going to call him out back at the 30, but
I heard the whistle
stumbled
blow
forward. I thought I did too, and they are going to bring it back. Let's see where they bring it back to.
That's pretty hard to look down and see where you're running as an official and march the ball back, unless he dropped his beanbag.
Well, they are still trying to figure out where they're going to mark this one. I thought I heard the whistle when he was back at about the 30-yard line.
I know I heard the whistle.
They're going to mark him at the 25. So about a 35-yard pickup by Mr. Esser on that one. And with 2:50 remaining, you can just about bet they're probably just going to run the ball most of the time here, the remainder of the final quarter of play.
And your hats have to go off to Twin Valley South, the way their kids came out and played tonight and continue to play hard, and their coaching staff getting them, preparing them all week. You know, it starts back on films the day after your game last week.
Treen takes it, turns it up, gets it across the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. So a pickup of about 4. As we approach the 2-minute mark here in this final quarter of play, Mark Bixler and Duane Warvel, also joined by our camera operator Mike Sees. A 17-7 ball game. Anna leading Twin Valley South in this cross-county conference matchup as Treen takes it off tackle right side. Gets it inside the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. A minute 45 remains here. Up the middle, Esser is in for the touchdown. So about a 14-yard run with a minute 33 remaining. Esser with his 3rd touchdown run. And 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd. That gives the Rockets a 23-7 lead. And Duane, this is going to be one of those games when the final score is not going to be indicative of this.
No,
how this game was
exactly
played.
Right. You know, South was still driving the ball late there before the fumble.
The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with a minute 33 remaining, it is now Anna 24, Twin Valley South 7. And Duane,
really, that last drive, Mark, was the only positive yardage South has put on
in the second half.
In the second half, on paper. Anna just did a fabulous job coming out the second half and shutting them down. And really, the positive yards came probably on a little softer defense on throwing the ball, where your defensive backs and linebackers are playing a little softer. And that doesn't take anything away from South delivering the ball where it needed to be and making the receptions, because they were driving the ball before the fumble.
Well, the Rockets are going to improve to 3-1 overall and 3-0 in the cross-county conference. South will fall to 1-3 and 0-3 in the CCC.
And Anna still has some big games coming up when they face Covington, when they face, Ansonia, when they face Arcanum. There's 3 teams that are nice teams in our league that, from what I've seen this evening, and we've seen some of those teams play, will give them everything that they're going to ask for.
And you have to wonder the effort Twin Valley South put forth tonight. Could they be a team that could play a spoiler?
All right.
Hines with the kick. It's taken by Bird back at about the 6-yard line. Gets out. He is still going at the 40-yard line and finally brought down at about the 46. So a huge, about a 40-yard return by Bird. And with 1:24 remaining, South will get another opportunity. And, we mentioned when it was 17-7, South is driving the ball and turn the ball over. If they are able to punch it in, that makes a big difference. A big turn of events, the turnover by South. Raymer pitches the ball back to Bird, looks to throw, going deep. And this one is going to be picked off. And it falls harmlessly to the ground, but Josh Carter nearly came up with that, and Ashton Berner, both of them converging on the ball. And
no, but you're exactly right, Mark. When you look on, they pick up the paper tomorrow and look at this game, it in no way is going to tell people really what took place here. Looking at South's effort tonight, there's a lot of teams in the league that they could knock off on any given night if they come back.
If they come back with the same
positive,
effort,
keep their chins up, and head in the right direction.
Absolutely, and of course Ansonia has to come down here. Raymer across the middle, and it is incomplete with 1:11 remaining. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Well, as we said, next week we'll be at Minster. The Marion Local Flyers taking on the Minster Wildcats in a Midwest Athletic Conference game. Always an interesting matchup, backyard rivals. Of course, last year in the playoffs, Marion spanking Minster. Beat them pretty soundly in the regular season, but they really smoked them in the playoffs.
Well, and even last year, I don't think early in the year people really knew how good Marion was going to be.
And you look at what they did to Mogador.
And Mark, we talked about this the other night. Those teams in the MAC probably face a greater challenge during the regular season when they play each other head-to-head and the beating they take on each other than when they get really into the playoff play of the overall scheme of things and making their run to Canton. Well,
Versailles starting the year off 3-0 for the first time in quite a while. They're a legitimate contender in the MAC this year, no question. And quite frankly, Al may have the Tigers back in the playoffs.
It wouldn't surprise me, and I know it wouldn't surprise a lot of other people.
Raymert as the Panthers back to the line of scrimmage. Raymert drops back, looks to throw across the middle, and it is tipped and falls incomplete. Coming up with that tip, number 52, Andrew Birch, and there's a name we've mentioned a lot here tonight.
You know, Mark, and we talked a little bit about teams getting into different conferences, and you look at Versailles just a couple years back, you know, jumping into the MAC and hearing certain people say, well, they won't be able to do this or won't be able to do that. And again, Al and his coaching staff and his kids have surprised people, and they just showed them what they could do.
And this year, I think they've surprised a lot of teams, as the Panthers electing to punt the ball and taking that, number 22, Kurt Hoying. And a penalty flag is going to be thrown back inside the 25-yard line as Hoying returns it to about the 37-yard line.
And, you know, in that league, too, Mark, it's real important. It's real important in any league, but more so in that league to keep your kids healthy. And you take Al, last year had his running back go down with an ankle injury. You got Todd Beckman this year for the St. Henry Redskins going down. And you've got to have your key players healthy. And that league is so physical and so strong, night in, night out, that those kids are really taking a pounding.
Well, that is the 5th penalty of the second half against the Rockets for 50 yards. Check that, 40 yards. The give is up the middle, and it is Renner handing the ball off to number 32, Esser. And he is real close to the first down marker. And it looks like we have a Panther that is down.
And just as we talk about injuries, we've got a player down on the field right now.
Getting up, holding his arm, is number 78, Jesse Wilson. We certainly hope he is okay.
Mark, I would have to say, of all the games we've done so far this year, this game has had the most amount of penalties, negative yardage, and turnovers that I have seen so far.
And probably one of the lowest scoring ball games thus far, too. Other than the Greenville Celina game that we did to open the season, with Celina knocking off the Green Wave 20-0. "35 seconds, and they're taking it right down. He takes the knee, and that, depending on when the ball is set, and no whistle yet, that could be the last play, and indeed will be the last play as they put it. They just signaled the ball into motion.
And Mark, just as I was speaking, I know on Twin Valley South side of the ball, offensively, I've got 10 different possessions in which negative yardage occurred.
Well, the clock winding down, 1 second remaining, and that's going to do it. The Anna Rockets improved to 3-1 overall, 3-0 in the cross-county conference. Twin Valley South drops to 1-3 and 0-3 in the CCC. We'll be back and take a look at the statistics and wrap things up here from West Alexandria in just a moment. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Brought to you by Gilbert Feller's Funeral Home, located on Albert Road in Brookville. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. Back here at Twin Valley South High School, West Alexandria, Ohio. Mark Bixler along with Duane Warvel and our camera operator Mike Sees. And the Anna Rockets, Duane coming away with a 17-7 win in cross-county conference play against the Panthers.
Well, like we said, Mark, when you pick up the paper tomorrow and you read the score, it's really not going to be a true reflection on what took place tonight. I thought Twin Valley South came out, set the tone, played extremely hard, had a couple impressive drives. Probably one of the biggest difference in tonight's games would have been the number of penalties and the turnovers that really both teams had. South getting their lone score in the first quarter with 4:12 left in the first quarter. Really, Steve Bird, the workhorse this evening. He had one touchdown. He did kick the extra point. He had a key interception when Anna was driving in the fourth quarter. And really, at that time, South was only down 10 points. So really, it was a key interception. He had a really nice kickoff return in which he was hit out of bounds on a late hit. Didn't let that bother him. Bounced back and had another 40-yard kickoff return late in the game. Just I thought, as far as a real positive for them, I thought he was a real bright spot, and definitely is going to get some attention throughout the year. That when you play Twin Valley South, you're going to have to get some leather on him, and you're going to have to hit him, and it's going to take a couple guys to bring him down. He played extremely hard on both sides of the ball tonight, and then he had 60 yards of rushing, so well over 100 yards all-purpose. I thought South played really hard. We're talking about a first-year coach and a new program and taking them in a different direction. So as far as competing, I thought their kids played extremely hard and have a lot of things. I think right now they need to stay positive and what did they do well, and not necessarily, well, we did this poorly and we did this poorly. But they've got some teams down the road in our league that I know they can not only just compete, but they can beat this year.
Well, you look at even this game. They're in it with 4.5 minutes. It's a 17-7 ball game.
You're right.
And they're driving.
And really, Steve Bird makes the interception. South starts to drive, and really what happened was the quarterback pulled out of the center too quick. They were doing a nice job making some passes and interception, keeping the clock stopped. At one point in time, South had a nice reception. The receiver got out of bounds, stopped the clock. They were at midfield, and that's just a real positive that they need to build on. And you're exactly right. They're down 10. If they put that in the end zone, now pretty soon you're setting up an onside kick, and you really don't know what might happen. But even putting them in that situation where they possibly could win a ball game or force it into overtime is just a real positive and a plus.
But give credit to where credit's due. Anna stepped up when they had to and ended up winning at 24-7.
And we discussed that, Mark. I thought one of the biggest differences in this game was the coaching staff of Anna, the second half at halftime, coming out, making adjustments, and really completely shutting down all but the one drive late in the game that South had. I don't think South did anything differently, but in the second half, Anna just completely stopped them offensively.
Well, offensively for the Rockets here in this second half, we had unofficially Brian Egbert with 15 yards rushing the ball in the second half. We had Kurt Esser with 109 yards offense in the second half. Also carrying the ball was TJ Schemmel. We had him with 24 yards, and several others. We had them totaling 162 yards, rushing yards in the second half. And with the 59 yards in the first half, that gave them 221 yards rushing for the ball game. In the second half, didn't throw the ball a lot, but they did throw it several times. We had them with 5 completions in the second half for a total of 31 yards. They had 55 yards passing for the game and 276 yards total offense. Most of that coming in the second half. So not a bad night's effort, and actually, yes, 276 yards. That actually would be more than that. 276, about 300 yards total offense. So not a bad night's effort, but most of that coming in the second half.
And one thing we didn't really stat was the amount of punts that took place tonight. Both kickers got a workout. Both teams coming very close to
getting
blocking.
some blocks.
I guess the one negative that I saw tonight that probably concerns me is the amount of turnovers and the amount of penalties that we had in this ball game. And I know we were statting that we had to have well over close to 15 or so penalties combined, and probably 7 turnovers. And when you have that many turnovers and that many penalties, I'll tell you what, either team could win or lose a ball game. And if those statistics keep appearing in the scores in the paper somewhere, if someone keeps track of that.
And looking down at the Anna football roster, I noticed that their high school principal is Andrew Bixler, and some of those people watching the game from Kettlersville and from Anna that have come over to Kettlersville to watch the ball game, as far as I know, I'm not related to him, just to let you know that.
Unless he wins the lottery tonight.
then he's a long-lost cousin.
You're right.
But we want to thank Mike Mulefield, the athletic director at Anna, as well as Dan Bassler, the athletic director here at Twin Valley South. A great job by both men at both of their schools. The athletic director, quite frankly, doesn't get the accolades that they really deserve, quite frankly, and we want to give those to those individuals right now, and a great job by the coaching staff and administration at both schools as well, and we want to thank them for allowing us the opportunity to bring you these ball games.
All right, this event doesn't take place without a lot of people helping out young men and young women, and we have not been to a facility this year that we haven't been treated, well, and can tell that there are a lot of adults that are taking a lot of pride in their communities, and also the type of program and what the production of their young people that they're putting out in front of everybody.
Well, Duane, another great ball game tonight, 24-7 the final score. Anna knocking off the Twin Valley South Panthers here at West Alexandria. Next week we'll be at Minster at Memorial Stadium, and the Wildcats taking on the Flyers.
No, and we haven't had a game in the rain.
No, actually, we have not. We had some sprinkles in that first game,
and we could sure use it all across the state of Ohio. But wouldn't that be interesting to see how that would affect the outcome of a ball game this year?
I wasn't too far off. I said we'd be up in possibly down into the 60s. We're right at 70 degrees here.
And that's ideal to be playing football in.
Well, Duane, until next week, certainly look forward to that ball game, the Marion Local at Minster matchup in the Midwest Athletic Conference. Again, the final score here tonight, Anna 24, the Twin Valley South Panthers 7. For Duane Warvel and for Mike Sees, our camera operator, I'm Mark Bixler, and for M. Bixler Video Productions. Until next week, so long, everybody. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By MONTAGE Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And businesses and individuals can help underwrite the events that M. Bixler Video Productions airs. Contact us.